Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Amali. Santa Mary. But happy February 1st. This is the second month of 2021. And it is also Black History Month.
Yeah.
Well, Black History Month is also every year. Every month this year. Every year. Because we celebrate ourselves all the time. Every time.
All day, every day, brother.
Thought you was going to say something else. Yes, it's February 1st. I know. I woke up and started the date on my clock and I was a bit in disbelief.
You know one thing though, like, so I'm a February born, but for some reason I don't get in the whole like, this is the best month.
I don't do that thing, you know.
Right, that just weird me out here.
Every month is the best month if you're born in it. Who would say the month is a bad month? Like, okay, we get it, but then everybody, the best month.
But I mean, really and truly, like, it just kind of getting to me now. Like, it's like today you're gonna see all the posts.
Best month of the year.
Best month of the year. Blah, blah, blah. It's so sweet. They only could have guessed 29. I couldn't handle 30 if we had to get it. Like, come on. I don't know. Well, let people have their fun, I guess.
I suppose. I was born in August, and every time they say, August the best month, I'm just like...
There's a song by one of my favorite bands, Steely Dan. Oh, quick fun fact. Did you know that Steely Dan actually got their name from a sex toy? But I do love their music. But they have a song called Reeling in the Years. And one of the lyrics in the song is the things you do for fun, I just can't understand. And I feel that way every time I go on social media.
Same.
But I digress. How was your weekend, Kevon?
We really have to do this?
Yes, because I feel that you have physically moved past the weekend, but I don't think the weekend has left you yet. Looking at the bags under your eyes. Take your time. The viewers and the listeners eagerly await your breakdown as well as your review.
So, this past weekend, I attended the Four Seasons brunch that they hold at Mango. First of all, it was actually my first time at Mango.
Oh, really?
And it's actually so nice over there.
It's a nice place.
It's just so nice over there. It's I don't want to say removed from the hotel, but it's like...
Yeah, it's kind of like
on the side of the hotel. And it's just such a scenic, quiet, breezy escape place.
Yeah.
And it's so nice.
The two restaurants on that side are pretty cool. But that one, because it's a little further away from the hotel, doesn't feel like you're on the hotel property.
Right. So we had, I went to do a brunch, and they had the three options. Menu 1 option gave you 1 beverage and a main course.
Okay.
Menu 2 gave you 2 beverages and 2 main courses.
Ooh, okay.
Menu 3 gave you bottomless beverages and 2 courses with a complimentary amuse-bouche and shrimp cocktail.
Oh.
And let me tell you, there was not a single... So first of all, it was quite a lot of food. But surprisingly well portioned.
See, that does usually be the issue with me going to some of these. The more upscale restaurants. You pay more money and get less food.
But it was a good. It was like
a good portion.
You basically got full by the end of your entire course.
Okay.
So
nice.
You had the amuse-bouche, which was just light enough to start you up.
Mm-hmm.
Then I moved on to the appetizer.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, everyone. Give me a minute because my brain is still trying to function.
Yeah, your brain's still stuck on Sunday.
The appetizer. I have the menu, so I'm going to read the options because the options were
delightful.
Like, how do you pick?
Mm.
So the first one, the options for the appetizer were a berry bowl,
Okay. Okay.
which was banana, granola, dragon fruit, strawberry, coconut with yogurt,
Oh.
which is what I had,
Oh, cool.
and it was delicious.
Divine.
Delicious.
Mm.
Oh my gosh. The granola was super crunchy.
Oh.
The yogurt had this sort of tart tanginess to it
Mm-hmm.
in a good way.
Yeah.
And then there's fruits. There's like caramelized bananas on it and everything. It was like, bro.
Oh. A texture and flavor fiesta in your mouth.
Then there was an island parfait. It looks great. Didn't have it though.
Mm-hmm.
So there was cloud pancakes, which I had the privilege of tasting.
Okay, I said cloud pancakes.
Cloud pancakes.
Oh.
And let me tell you, it was quite the cloud in a beautiful
Right home or motor insurance shouldn't be one. You need fast claim settlement from a company that's been rooted for over 31 years. And don't forget the A Excellent rating by AM Best. Make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Reliable insurance that you can count on. Get a quote today for your home, motor, contents, and liability insurance needs. And make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance. Tomorrow secured. Local agents, Dalil Walwyn & Co. Limited. Telephone 465-2631 or 469-5303 for the Nevis office.
She la low, she la low, she la low. Anywhere we did, she go, she la low, she la low. When I'm in the mood, she did, she la low, she la low. Even when I'm not, she did, she la low, she la low, she la low, she la low, she la low. Every other day, she did, she la low, she la low. When I'm in the mood, she did, she la low, she la low. Even when I'm not, she did, she la low, she la low, she la low, she la low, she la low. You get boo, I do. You get boo, I do. You get boo, I do. Yeah, backing it up, backing it up. Factory fitted or not no foe. Kala was kapado mo kiki. Bad guy Chun-Li, yeah, kakabiniki. Put a diamond ring on it, mama, you know me. Where you been and boss it up and for me. Oh, yeah, cut me come, we know they do me corny. You know I'm bad and I'm bad like only you leave, I go gaga. Does I still get memory of water? I mean, I don't. My anya for your mother. You the better speak like Mrs. Carter. She la low, she la low, she la low. Anywhere we did, she go, she la low, she la low. When I'm in the mood, she did, she la low, she la low. Even when I'm not, she did, she la low, she la low, she la low. She la low, she la low. Every other day, she did, she la low, she la low. When I'm in the mood, she did, she la low, she la low. Even when I'm not, she did, she la low, she la low. She la low, she la low, she la low. You get boo, I do. You get boo, I do. You get boo, I do. She la low, she la low.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Amali.
Kevon sends Amali.
Kevon sends Amali.
We let the callers know what with Amali. The viewers and the
Let's leave it.
listeners.
Just chalk it up to mystery.
Where's the Jade? He's incarcerated? No. Finally caught up with it.
No, he's not incarcerated. The flu has caught him.
Oh, so it
So
was
man
oh,
down.
so it was
Yeah.
the police.
He catch it.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
the police.
yeah.
It was the flu.
Man all the way down.
The
Man,
sentence.
all the way down.
The sentence don't be as harsh. Maybe 3-4 days.
If so much. Let's hope it's a light version. A light version. But yeah. So we're back.
I do not want
Audio
that
is
flu,
back.
Kevon.
What?
I don't want that flu.
Neither me,
That flu
honestly.
seems to be knocking down people.
Yeah, man, it's rough. It's rough. I've
Mingale, it looks so.
I spoke to a couple people who are fighting it right now. And
Yeah, it's not cute.
so you know the anti, you must call them.
Doctors?
No. The anti-sanitizers.
That's exactly what they are, we have anti-sanitizers in St Kitts.
Yeah, because the argument for anti-sanitizers is because you sanitize, you don't give your immune system the opportunity to build up resistance.
Right.
Because you're killing all the germs before.
That's so stupid.
Well,
It's partially true.
it's partially true. 'Cause for
I don't
instance,
care.
like the
It's
kids,
stupid.
the kids who play inside all the time, they tend to have like weaker immune systems because they don't eat dirt and so.
Yeah,
And
like
they're small.
like us, we used to drink from pipes in the yard.
Goat pipe and so. And they go just leave the pipe. It doesn't say.
Who was it?
You're
Like
next.
we grow up being tired and we eat drinking from the pipe.
So yeah, so it's partially true. But so yeah, they're having a feel, But yeah, guys, just and this is something that we've been saying all the time. Like there's been a lot of talk about, the mask and the sanitizing and washing of hands and all of that, which is very important. And we need to be really mindful keeping up on that. But also, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't pay attention to your body, take care of your body.
Right.
Taking vitamins, drinking bush tea. You know what I mean?
The way you're supposed to do.
You
know you're supposed to do it.
Like people literally just don't take vitamins. Like, get a multivitamin. Go to your pharmacy, talk to your pharmacist. Get a multivitamin.
Get a vitamin and keep going.
Yeah. Especially now.
And wash your hands. You're so nasty. No, seriously, because I just go to some places, like I go to like a supermarket, or I go step in a store quickly, and there are people literally fighting and arguing and fussing and abusing that they want to sanitize their hands. Like, you're nasty.
Yeah.
Sanitize your hands. Like, why are you fighting to be clean? Like, to not be clean.
Yeah.
I don't think dirtiness is that attractive. Like, wash your hands. That's all. And if you don't wash your hands, then don't come in people's place. It's just like when you have somebody come to your house, you tell them take off their shoes, and if they don't want to take off their shoes, then don't come in your house. The same applies.
Yeah.
It's just not nasty.
Yeah. They Yeah. I feel like people who making a big deal about like sanitizing when they're going into the stores and so, it's just people who just got to find something to be.
They just want to be unruly.
Yeah,
that's all. They just want to be unruly, and they just have to. There's got some people who always have to cause a scene.
Yeah.
And there's actually no true reason to cause a scene. They just need to cause a scene.
Find comfort in confrontation.
Right. So. Ay. Such is that. Such is that. Are our friends here?
No.
It's time for us to talk about where the traffic light in the middle of the sidewalk is.
Oh.
Y'all saw the ones up by where I live? Up by Valley Mat?
Mm-hmm.
Who's supposed to, like, how are you supposed to navigate those things?
I mean, how are you supposed to navigate them?
Like, you have to come down in the road.
Oh, I mean, to pass
Yeah.
sidewalk? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that's been the argument. But remember Gilbert said he measured them, eh? He had 4 feet. But I don't know.
He measurements a bit off.
So,
Because-
Gilbert, you've been making us get views dead, because everywhere I go, people come into me and telling me, eyeliner, I ain't no 4 foot. We even had one person.
Public Works.
Oh?
It's Public Works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't work there.
She said we're getting custom, we don't want public works.
Yeah, but we had Public Works on the show, so by default, I guess we getting views. We getting adjacent views. But
Views adjacent.
views
That's us.
adjacent.
Yeah. We're here to take the word of the nation.
Yeah, views back here.
No, we're allowed to.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I hope. You local? I hope you're here, Jade. Yeah. I hope you.
So when you all see me in the supermarket,
Well-
and I tell you please to leave
Don't
me.
change him out now, yeah?
No, me judging by.
Oh, okay.
I said that with my whole chest. If you abuse me, we're gonna abuse you back. So,
Look at us, well-adjusted human beings.
right? So choose your battles and your hills wisely.
Me not abuse it though.
Oh,
Yeah, me ain't good at word like. Yeah.
no, me ain't gonna abuse you, but like your mother and them kind of things, you know. I can just make you feel stupid.
Some people too lack self-awareness to be able to feel like.
As if your glasses thick hair?
Actually, have on
Me
different
mothers.
like things on top of the glasses.
No, I watching the glasses themselves, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Me mother.
Because
Yes,
of the
yeah,
frame.
that's because we can't see. We can't see, and that's just that. What to do?
Can't see?
What?
We say you can't see?
Yeah,
We can't see. I got in my contacts. If I take them out, I can't drive.
My friend Amber like that. Like Friday we was going somewhere and she was like, I can't see, and I'm like, why you can't see? Cause my glasses in my bag. Why they're in your bag? Like white people who wear glasses don't like to wear the glasses.
I am not even one of those privileged people who have the option.
I don't know. Yeah. Since I started
Unfortunately.
wearing glasses, just wear my glasses all the time.
Yeah, I want to see.
The only time was when I would there were a few times I play football. I used to wear contacts when I play football, but other than that,
The only time I never wore my glasses when I used to wear glasses consistently before the introduction of contacts is like beach, for obvious reasons.
well, beach, shower,
Beach,
sleep.
shower, sleep. You look at some
And
people
then
just
sometimes
sleep in
because I
glasses.
fall asleep watching, like I like to fall asleep watching things.
So you fall asleep in your glasses.
Yeah, my father always asked me like, "What you wanna see your dream or something?"
Yeah, Justin used to make that joke with me and tell me that if I need my glasses to see me dreams.
Yeah, but Stop doing
That's mean. That's
Yeah.
mean. At least you had glasses. People used to tease me about my eyes because they're big. So I've heard all the jokes about big eyes. Like,
And they style now.
Right?
No, they
imagine.
They're bad like them full of you. It'll be funny how like
and miserable.
it'll be funny how the world is just like a cycle. It's a big pendulum. So like back in like the 70s, like that all the whole like what we want to call ethnic.
I hate that word.
Yeah, I hate it too. Look was in style, so like the full of lips, the thick eyes, the big eyes.
Yeah, the full lips, the nose.
Yeah, if like all that was in style, and then like fast forward to like the 90s, and then we went out the door early 2000s, and then like back now. So like everybody, all the white girls pumping up the lips and look ridiculous.
Yeah, they look like that challenge where you suck your lip into a glass. And
I will never forget that,
Yeah, that's how they look.
Yeah, ridiculous. And now it's like and then like now you have to do the filter that makes your eyes look full.
And then they
When
have
you
the
take a
big
picture.
lips, the big lip filter, and like like from time immemorial, black people and black features have been globally envied. And I just
big up the black woman one time,
right. They will call us all kind of things and laugh after us
beauty, yeah?
and make us gollywogs and then turn around and try to be us.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like what humans do, right? Like,
Poke
if you're
fun at
really
something you like.
secretly like jealous of something and you
hate
can't
it.
you can't emulate it,
You poke fun at it.
yeah, you try to bring it down. So yeah, that's human nature. But again, we got the black woman then.
Yeah.
Goddesses.
So let's talk some. Wait, if it's gonna work today.
Take a swig.
Yeah, moment.
I hope it's Prosecco in a cup there.
Crisp. But on tea time.
Yeah,
I think that was decent based
Yeah,
on my
go
current
with
that. I wasn't
circumstances.
Work with them.
That was decent based on my current circumstances. I'll give myself an A for effort. So let's talk tea. He. Let's talk about something that happened in Jamaica.
Gotcha. Jamaica is the Florida of the Caribbean. Yeah?
It is.
Jamaica is
Definitely.
the Florida of the Caribbean.
So there was during a church service, there was a woman that was shot dead during church. So the article is saying that gunmen continue to show their scant regard for life locally as they enter the church in Trelawney, Jamaica, and shot a woman dead during a Sunday morning service. The deceased has been identified as 51-year-old Andrea Lowe Garwood, a bank manager of Brook Manor in Trelawney. Police have confirmed that the murder occurred at the Christian Fellowship Church in the parish capital about 9:30 a.m. on Sunday. There actually is a video that is circulated on social media. The church service was being recorded, and you can see
It was
altar?
being live streamed on Facebook.
Yeah, on Facebook. What do you call it? The altar?
Yeah.
The front of the church was being filmed.
Pulpit.
And the pulpit, they were performing a hymn, and you can hear the shots being fired.
Bro.
And the persons at the front of the church who were at the podium,
Bro.
they started screaming and running.
Bro, like the lady who was leading the song service, the worship leader, you could tell she was in such shock that all she knew to do was to keep singing.
Yeah, she was in
I
such
was like,
disbelief.
Yeah, that's the first thing I noticed too. Like
The-
she just was so
the-
shocked she didn't even know what to do.
The background, like the lady who was like singing background,
She disappeared.
She
she
screamed and ran.
started screaming. The lady who was leading the song service, she just was like, all
She
I
didn't
can
know
do
what
is
to do.
sing.
She
When
didn't
you
know
went
what to do.
I think the one that was on her left, she just like ducked out.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was. That's the one who was screaming.
Mm-hmm.
That was. I don't
This
think I could.
this is-
I don't think I want to see anything like that in my lifetime.
Like blatant. Watch it. There's certain places where you feel like should be
Off limits.
off limits, sacred. right? One,
Church?
church, schools, right? These are the places you think, okay, off limits. Like even the mob never to kill people in church. I really,
There's
blatant disregard
no regard.
for anything.
You just show up to a church during the middle of the worship, you fire gunshots and go.
That could have been so much worse. Like, my condolences to the family of the lady that lost her life, but that could have been a literal church massacre.
But I've been reading several accounts of the incident, and they are all painting different pictures.
Like drastically different pictures.
Drastically different pictures.
What do you mean?
Like some of them saying like the assailant was sitting directly behind the lady, and then fired several shots, killing her, and then left.
So it was targeted?
But some are saying that the some of the worshippers had to, duck and run to escape being shot, which makes it sound like it was indiscriminate. So, yeah, it's so different.
Something.
But yeah, so it's and I mean something like this. I guess people in shock, people, have different accounts. It's just unfortunate all around. And again, like, deepest sympathies to the family and loved ones, friends of the deceased, as well as all those people, and all those people who would have been in the church at the time. Like it's really unfortunate, bro. I don't understand it.
We just need a break. Honestly, like, we just need a break from all of this. Because it's a lot. And it's like non-stop.
Yeah.
So we will take a very short break, and we will jump in with our friends at Traffic Talk. Only on WINN. We only here, right? They only here. They don't go anywhere else.
Not Traffic Talk.
Oh, because they're gonna fight. So only on WINNMedia SKN.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. WINN FM.
We are faced with tough decisions every day, but choosing the right home or motor insurance shouldn't be one. You need fast claim settlement from a company that's been rooted for over 31 years. And don't forget the A Excellent rating by AM Best. Make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Reliable insurance that you can count on. Get a quote today for your home, motor, contents, and liability insurance needs, and make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance. Tomorrow secured. Local agents, Dalil Walwyn & Co. Limited. Telephone 465-2631 or 469-5303 for the Nevis office.
Be careful on the road. Hey. Don't make it an episode. Attention all drivers, I'm begging you to slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, down. Hey. Too many stunt drivers on the road, man. With the fire day, driver, what's your emergency? It's better late than never, so why all the hurry? Speeding is the main cause of plenty mishaps. Hey. The road is now a racetrack, threatening life and property, and all the result of that led to death and injury.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your face, Kevon and Amali, and we are jumping into Traffic Talk. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning to those persons out there in Radio Land under the sound of our voice. It's good to be here one more time to this another edition of our weekly radio program of Traffic Talk, which is here every Monday morning at 8:30 a.m. right here on WINN FM. So I'm here, Sergeant Brown. I'm from the Police Traffic Department, and it's good to be in your company once more.
Thank you.
Yes, this morning just want to remind the motoring public, most of persons with motor vehicles ending with the number, with digit 1, that you should have had your vehicle licensed by now. That vehicles ending with the digit 1 at the back. Your vehicle should have been licensed by now. So I'm encouraging persons to, if he has not done so as yet, please do have your vehicle licensed. Because if you're caught driving your unlicensed vehicle, you'll be ticketed and you will be prosecuted. So I just want to remind persons of that. Also, I just want to remind persons traveling along in the Basti area, mostly in the McKnight area, there's been some demolition of houses, buildings that's in the vicinity of the Skellig main office. The
old ice plant?
That's correct, yes.
Oh, okay.
So the vehicular traffic in that area is restricted. So persons who, if you can avoid driving in and around that area, please do so. The traffic is being restricted in and around that particular area. So I just want to remind persons of that. If you have, for some reason, if you have to do any business or any transaction in that area, you're advised to park your vehicle and walk. So we just want to remind persons of that.
Okay, great.
Yes,
great.
yes.
So is the to your knowledge,
yes.
Has the buildings actually been demolished and now is the debris being taken? Is that where it's at?
Yes, it's the demolition started last Saturday, and it continues up to today. The information is that I'm not sure as to how long it would take, but the information that I have thus far is that it continues up to today. So persons are asked to be aware of that.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome.
And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want also to remind persons to continue obeying the traffic laws. We're still having a few lawless persons not abiding by the traffic laws. Persons are still being ticketed, and on Saturday morning, persons are still driving along the Bay Road. We want to remind persons that the traffic is restricted for persons driving from west along the Bay Road on Saturday morning from between the hours of 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. If you're traveling from the Cenotaph or the War Memorial area, you cannot continue straight up to the public market. You will have to take a left up into Malone Avenue and a right, or if necessary, you continue straight up into Malone Avenue. But if for some reason you want to go down into town, say by the bus terminal, you'll have to take a right onto Fort Thomas Road, continuing straight, and take a right into College Street Gut. That's Lower College Street Gut, and then you continue whether you turn left towards the Rams supermarket direction or you continue right towards the bus and ferry terminal. For some reason, persons are still breaking the law, still continuing, even though the signs are there.
So that's what I was gonna ask. Like, what's the on Saturdays when the signage is put up to ask people to divert?
Yeah.
What type of, because to me it I don't understand how it's still an issue.
Yeah, up to last Saturday, we issued about 10 tickets to persons still continuing passing this sign.
So they have to cross over onto the right side of the road.
Yes, that's what they're doing. The signs are there. If you're coming up on your left-hand side, the sign is clearly there, visible enough for you to see. There's nothing stopping or blocking the view. So what we are seeing, persons are moving away from the sign, coming over on the right-hand side, that's more towards the best side, and continuing. So when you're stopped by the police officer, there's no excuse for you to say, oh, I did not see the sign. But clearly, the sign is there. We still having persons, and when they're stopped, they're still making an issue out of it. Oh, I did not see the sign. Oh, the sign is...
Well, how you end up on the right side of the road then?
that's the thing I really don't know. And the sign clearly reads, no entry. No entry means no entry. You cannot pass. You cannot continue. So we still seeing people still want to break the law. But when you do that, you're gonna feel it in your pocket. You're gonna feel it in your pocket. So there's no excuse to say, give me a chance because I did not see the sign. The sign is visible, for you to see.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I've checked. I've not said checked, but I've driven there and I saw the sign and
You do the necessary.
I couldn't understand. Well, I wasn't going to it, but I saw it, and I couldn't understand why it's an issue because clearly it's blocking you from going.
Your path, it's in your pathway.
So,
yeah, but we're still seeing people still breaking.
We have a call on the line. Caller, good morning.
Yes. Good morning, teachers.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, my superior.
Good morning, sir.
As usual, I don't miss traffic talk.
And we are glad for that, yeah.
Right, definitely. Now, Mr. Brown, I would like to ask you a question, and if you could do without answering it on the ear to make yourself look what do you call it? Ill-informed, yeah. Do that. Now I have a question. For years upon years, every week, every Monday, you all on WINN FM with the police traffic talk and other stations. And you all are doing a great job. A great job. And brother,
thank you for that.
The only people who ain't listening or who not hearing you all is who dead. My question is this. When you all don't come out and rehearse every week and the concert time come, do those people who are supposed to lay down the penalty ban, those worthless, disrespectful, lawless people of the laws, when they reach in front of them, who's supposed to lay down the penalty on them, do you satisfy with the kind of penalty that they'll go down on them? Because, every week you could hear people complaining, talking about how these negligent drivers, they're driving with the eye shut. So it's only they alone on the road. They don't care what happened. When you look, big accident, load of people in vehicle, damage, gone hospital, and all this kind of foolishness. And then they continue doing it, even if I give them a ticket, they're still doing and doing. So that's why I ask the question. If you as a law enforcer is satisfied with the kind of penalty that does come out of wheresoever to these people, I'll listen to you as of the ear. That's my concern. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Carl, for that question. Yeah, it's unfortunate that to see the amount of persons come to the traffic court on Thursdays. Thursdays are days when the traffic cases are being tried. And it's unfortunate to see the amount of persons still coming to the court to answer to their charges. But whatever the penalties are, we have to accept them. The penalties are set not by the police, by those in authority, and whatever the penalties are, we have to accept the penalty that is imposed on these persons who are found guilty for violating the traffic law. So, caller, that's the best way I think I can answer your question. Yeah.
We have another call. Caller, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
An observation. You spoke briefly about the traffic lights at Wellington Road and the negotiation and so on. I'm wondering if you're going to control the incoming traffic to the lights coming from, I think is the east, from the airport way, coming down. There are a couple of roads into New Pan site, and they basically are two for cars coming out and turning onto the traffic lights, if that has been thought of in terms of, possibly disrupting the flow into the traffic lights, or you might want to think of maybe making it a one-way, either way, which is most convenient to the continuous flow. Because I know Miss Slack Road is a one-way. I call it Miss Slack Road, the road that leads up from Wellington Road up onto Taylor's Range there. Maybe some consideration could be done to, make sure the flow of traffic coming in and out of those by roads be done. Include is the traffic into and out of the gas station. Because I know, like in North America and a lot of places, if you go through a gas station and you don't stop, or you try to, bypass routes and so, it's, I think it's I don't know if it's a felony, but it's illegal. You can't just drive through a gas station like that to bypass certain roads. So I don't know if those things were considered, but I'd like to hear your opinion on it. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for your observations and your pointers. But unfortunately, I am not in a position, caller, to speak to the layout as to how the lights would be positioned. I really apologize for that. I am not in a position.
I don't know if he's speaking directly about the lights.
My understanding is that he wants to know how they will be positioned as to layout vehicles from certain streets, certain areas.
Well, no, I think, because this is something that I would have discussed with someone as well.
Yeah.
You have those side roads that, as it stands now, you could use them to come onto Wellington Road.
That's correct.
From Taylor's Range.
Yeah.
Right? And so if you have a light there at the junction, by what he was calling Miss Slack Road.
Miss Slack Road, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? Because even now, like in the mornings and things, like, cars have to stop to be courteous to allow people to come out, and sometimes traffic coming from the opposite direction doesn't stop. So
right.
it before you get to the light.
No road courtesy.
Yeah, so before you get to the light, sometimes you have those factors that affect the flow of traffic into where the light is now going to be. Yeah. So I think that was he was asking if there's any consideration for that.
Yes, I understand the questions full well, but as I said, I don't want to speak, and I'm not speaking with the authority. I'm not speaking with any full knowledge as to it. I don't want to really jump ahead of myself and speak to something to that effect. So as I said, I apologize. I don't want to appear as if that I'm evading or avoiding your question call, but I want to speak with a level of caution. So I do apologize for that.
We have another call on the line. Caller, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Sergeant Brown, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I have two questions to pose to you.
Yes, sir.
When would you all, the traffic department, in conjunction with public works, etc., walk on the mahogany tree by the community center in Challengers? You become a more and more hazard with the low branch and these high big vehicles. And number two, when you are going to put a mark in across the road in Challengers in an attempt to slow down people from driving through there. Everybody, when they sell these cyclemen on the weekend, they put in on a show. Some bicycle men have joined them now and at evening. But I'm more so annoyed about the speed that they drive through the village. Because, okay, yes, a number of vehicles park on one side. I don't know how you are come up with the idea there. But if the vehicles, some are parked on the east side, you were able to cut down the speed. The parking was staggered from one point to another point. I'm observing almost every day. And I don't know. You all could come and talk with some of us. We got to see. Right now, the yellow line and the whole length of the village and the east side is nonsense. I ain't blaming you, but it's nonsense. So, I hope you all look at it. The tree, years we're talking about the tree. Me in particular. Years have been asking. Another officer wanted to go take on the job to cut it down. I told him he was wrong. You got to have to tourism and all of that. Because it's a landmark. My father born in 1894, and he told me he met the tree there as a very big old tree. They could understand how old it is. So, you all need a cross division discussion and come up with something. You got equipment could handle it. You go up in Bucket and they got chainsaw around. They're plentiful in the island now, the modern days. They got to be on one of the days like a Saturday, public holiday. Anyway, have a good day.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, caller. I know this caller. Caller, what I can say to that in relation to the mahogany tree that you spoke of. The last time you would have called in on the program, you spoke to that, and I've since spoken to someone from the Public Works Department. I'm not sure if any follow-through was done. So, but sometime this week, I'm going to make it my business, and I'm going to come down to you, and we're going to speak. You're going to show, you're going to point out to me what the issues and the problem is as it relates to the parking of the vehicles. I'm going to come down sometime this week. I cannot promise you any particular day, but hopefully sometime before the week is up and done, I'm going to come down then. I'm going to ask you to let us do a walkthrough. I might even come with someone else, so at least we could have more ideas. So I promise that you'll see me sometime during the course of the week, caller. Thank you very much.
We have another call. Caller, good morning. Oh. Yes, same.
Yes. And while we wait, okay, we have another caller. Caller, go straight ahead. You're live on Traffic Talk.
Oh. Same. Let me see if the YouTube stream has anything going on. One person's just talking about the serious issue with speeding in school zones around the country.
Yeah.
Yes.
Agreed.
One of those areas for me is, and I guess it's because I frequent the area, is the preschool in Connery. Buses in particular, like speed across there, man. It's very scary for me because it's the school is right on the corner on the main road, and then we're talking about the like very young children. So I always hope that there was some. I don't know if there's signage now. I don't think I've seen any signage like indicating that it's a school zone, but I think that's something that could be looked at.
Yes, speeding is still one of our main concern. We still have persons still speeding on our streets, and you spoke of the preschool in Connery. If my memory serves me right, I think there should be a pedestrian crossing in that area. I know there was one there. I don't know if since the
markings have since gone because of the resurfacing.
Okay. I know there used to be one, so we'll have to try and get one back in that particular area.
Yeah, I think they'd be good if there's signage as well for
marking school zone and
yeah.
the speed limit and
right.
Sure. That can be looked into. I'll just make a note of that.
Yeah, because sometimes I feel kind of weird because the places that I see the more signage for the school zones tend to be the places where it's adults going to college that don't look like us. I think that's where they see most of them kind of markings. Yeah. So I think the primary schools. There's the one in it's Bronte Welch. But I guess there used to be a pedestrian crossing there as well. But it's very dangerous sometimes. I see buses and other road users speeding through those places. So I think that's something that we really need to try and put something in place back. Because we can't wait till something happens.
That's correct. And we have to protect our youth. We have to protect the future of the country. So
we have another call. Caller, good morning.
Yeah, I come back again.
Listen.
After my good friend Emil. I'm going to support Emil. It's more than 7 years Emil been talking about the mahogany tree down in Stonefort Gut. But I'm telling you the reason why nobody do nothing to it yet. If some honor were to be added to the person who cut it down name, you will don't trim so that traffic, the height of the vehicle that passing close to that, they could have passed freely. But nobody name going to go behind it when they don't trim it to say, well, this person, and you give them this kind of medal or whatever it is. That's the reason why. Because everybody hearing it and they know it's dangerous to big vehicle. Look at TDC, them big concrete pump truck. When they're coming up from down Old Road and something coming down the hill, they got to stop and come out in the middle of the road to pass. But you see, it's only when certain people say certain things, we get certain things done. Thank you very much again for listening.
Yeah, thank you very much, caller. It's a big concern and it ought to be looked into and it ought to be dealt with. So I'll do some follow-up myself. I could only speak to certain persons. I can see how far I can reach in terms of see how this problem could be addressed. So I'll do some follow-up myself, caller. I want to thank you very much for that. We have a caller. Go right ahead. You're live on Traffic Talk.
Yes, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
First time I'm calling for the year, so I would like to say blessed New Year to everybody.
The same to you, sir.
Yeah, man. Happy New Year, bro.
Yeah, blessed. Coming down from New Road, right, by the control tower gate there.
Yeah.
I'm just got vibes in mind if you all go see the vision to make it like a tower, like a 3-lane then. One when you're coming up to turn right into the like by the airport gate and into Gillard Meadows. So the car, the vehicle behind coming up could be a straight road come up, because sometimes when you slow down to Gotcha, the vehicle behind now coming up with a kind of speed now.
And that's what we're trying to cut down, the speeding. So. Yeah, we're trying to avoid the speeding. So
in that kind of mistake. So even if you could even either cover the G and move the G and a little over on the dot side and open up the road a little more, and then you get the 3-lane now, one to go. When you're going left, right, when you're coming up to go right into the airport control tower into Gillard Meadows, the one to the back now going just keep going straight. And the one we're coming down, the one we're in the middle now, going to hold on until the
traffic
one
clear
down now, pass. If you check the energy we're speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah?
Yeah, so it's like a 3-lane, one to go into the airport control tower into Gillard Meadows. The one we're coming down, you're going to come straight, but the one was turning right into Gillard Meadows and into the control tower. We got to wait until the vehicle were approaching them coming down to go town. They got to wait till that pass for them to turn in. But the one to the back now, we're coming up from town, going Monkey side, they're going to be a straight road, if you understand it.
Institute in a turning lane.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
The one in the center now.
Right.
Being on obstruct the one we're coming from town, going Monkey Hill.
So Burgers, similar to the one that to how the road is by the gas station
and over by the factory.
Yes.
Over by the old factory.
Right. So turning lane. Gotcha.
The gas station up going to get the side.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Carl, we get the picture. But I'm sure department. I'm sure they are listening, Mr. Gilbert and others. I'm sure they are listening and they'll do the necessary. Whatever adjustments to assist with the vehicular traffic in that particular area. So thank you very much, caller, for pointing that out with your ideas. The clock on the wall is telling us that it's time to wrap and go. So I want to thank everyone for calling in, for listening, and for sharing your ideas with us. Your ideas are taken on board. Don't feel like you're just calling in for calling in sake. We do look at every issue, every angle that we can take on board to make sure that our roads are safe. So once again, I want to thank you very much for tuning in. And before we go, I want to remind persons again of their vehicle ending with the number 1. I repeat that, persons with vehicles ending with the figure 1, you should have had your vehicle license by now, and we ask you to do so. If you're caught driving your vehicle and it's not licensed, you will be ticketed and be prosecuted. Also, persons traveling in and around the Central Street area in the vicinity of the Skeleton main office, the vehicular traffic is being restricted because of work being undertaken. Some demolition work is being undertaken in that area. So if you have to do any business or transaction, you're asked to park your vehicle away from that area and walk. Once again, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to be here with you again next week, Monday, same time, same place. Bye.
Attention all drivers, I'm begging you to slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, down. Too many stunt drivers on the road, man. When the fire day driver.
Gift for Dad's birthday? Click. Ooh, Janice's retirement party? Click. Outfit for my girl's wedding? Click.
With TDC Airbox, you click, we ship. Register for your free US mailbox today and shop all your favorite stores online. Enjoy the convenience. Free consolidation up to £10. Competitive rates. Free package tracking account with live notifications. Free delivery and, of course, excellent customer service. Visit our website at tdcairbox.com and register today. For more information, visit our offices at the C.A. Paul Industrial Site in St. Kitts and Penny's Industrial Site in Nevis. Follow us on social media at TDC Airbox. TDC Airbox. You click, we ship. Terms and conditions apply.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
She no like it, got her naughty, but she go chop if you give her cucumber. Walk out from Transamadi till her leg begin shake her with a locumba. Baby, make her give you solid, make her even mix am with her lay and her walk pow. Hey, wait, let me tell she dey feel and da 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 da. She dey feel and da 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 da. She dey feel and da 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 da. She dey feel and da 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 da. She said till infinity, 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 infinity. Yo yo yo. She said make her put it in, put it in, put it in, put it in. No no no. She said till infinity, yo, infinity, infinity, yo, infinity, yo. She said make her put it in, make her put it in, put it in, put it in. No no no. We are take Kalauska. Cover me like babushka. Would you like to get my kiwa? And your body, you different.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves Kevon and Amali. And it's still Monday, February 1st, 9:13 a.m. And let's jump into some more tea time.
Not shishi.
Not shishi. So let's talk about St. Kitts. So let's talk about public education's a campaign on COVID-19.
Before I read the story, my only thing about it is duh. Carry on.
I'm taking on this here because remember when I brought up this point, certain person called him was like, "You guys have the platform. You should be telling people about these things."
You can't tell people we don't know.
And I was just like, yeah, I remember that, right? I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I still can't tell people about things that we don't know. I don't even know why this is even a article. This should be from the jump. We already know the vaccine will be introduced. So of course we need a public health education on it. Like, people not going to just take something because people say so. We need to know why, the side effects, the benefits, we might know because we would read upon them, but everybody ain't going to do it. So
but Jade,
the public needs education.
But the truth. Let me do. We could comment afterwards.
I don't have to read it, you know.
Let me read the article.
So, I lost the article. Okay. So, Abdias Samuel, the chairman of the National COVID-19 Task Force in St Kitts and Nevis, said that there is a need to begin the public educational campaign on COVID-19 vaccinations in the country, while indicating that he will lead by example in taking the jab. Mr. Samuel welcomed the continued rollout of vaccines designed to fight COVID-19 during Wednesday's, which was January 27, 2021, the National Emergency Operations Center weekly COVID-19 briefing. Do these names have to be so long?
It makes them important.
NAOC weekly COVID-19 briefing. He said, "We need to begin the campaign to educate persons that the vaccines are safe for us to take," he said. During the briefing, we need to take the vaccine. For now, the vaccines and the non-pharmaceutical measures are the only things that will take us to a state of normalcy. The CMO, Dr. Hazel Laws, speaking also at the briefing, highlighted the three main COVID-19 vaccines that are being administered to populations around the world. These are the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, the Moderna vaccine, and the AstraZeneca-Oxford vaccine.
Yeah.
Chairman Samuel encouraged persons to pay attention to the science and advice from credible experts and doctors rather than the myths circulating online about other vaccines. He says, "I encourage all to debunk all of the negativity surrounding the vaccines, and let us prepare as a nation to take the vaccine when it comes and support our health professionals in the regard." It is expected that St Kitts and Nevis will have access to the vaccines in the second quarter of 2021, and the Federation has signed on to the COVID-19 vaccine global access facility, COVAX, and will receive enough vaccines to cover 20% of the population in the initial stages. CMO Laws and the medical chief of staff at the Joseph N. France General Hospital, Dr. Cameron Wilkinson, have stated that they are willing to take the jab publicly to help put residents' minds at ease about the vaccine.
Right. How would that become a thing, by?
What?
Like all these public figures just like, I'll take the vaccine on camera.
Because it's now this social media era. I need to see.
And they're just so joking to me, right?
Yeah.
Not only that, I feel like
I didn't even know why not. There could be drips.
Jips. I mean, jips.
Like
sugar water. But, I don't feel like we should have waited till now to start the educational process.
Back in November, when I made the exact same point right here on Island T, some of these same people called in and was like, "You guys should do it." And I was like, "Huh?"
We are not public health officials, okay?
I was like, "Excuse me?" Okay, look, this is my thing, right? Like, it's good that they
don't trust us with that.
No, well, no, but it's good that now we talking about it and that kind of thing. But we have to recognize that there is a lot of information out there, and in the lack of credible information from our own sources, then what people gonna do? People gonna go to whatever source they could find. Right, and that has been the problem all along. Like, in the where there's a lack of information coming from our credible sources,
they get it elsewhere. And it's not the best, because we all see what happens when information is circulated on primarily Facebook and WhatsApp. it's 9 out of 10 times wrong.
Be honest with us. Like I know there's going to be questions where the answers are gonna be I don't know. Like I'm perfectly fine with an I don't know versus some type of made up answer that either tries to deflect or gives the impression of whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. Because for instance, like I'll be honest, like Johnson & Johnson doing their
they're doing 1 2.
They're doing 1 2, right? I ain't just not from Johnson & Johnson.
No,
like these are the
giving women cancer with
babies. They've been giving babies cancer for years.
Talcum powder and
like
And now it's supposed to trust them to give me an injection?
Like I mean, there's a lot of questions for me about the efficacy of the vaccines as it relates to the new variants. We're seeing different vaccines having different levels of efficacy with the new variants. The new variants coming out seemingly almost every week we find a new variant.
Exactly, and it's Caribbean strong.
So these are the questions that we are going to have to address, because in the absence of clear and concise information coming from the COVID task force, people can find it on YouTube and WhatsApp and Facebook and Twitter, and it can just be a whole big disaster.
Yeah, like simple. We know we've been preparing to get the vaccines. We should have been preparing the education that should have came along with the vaccine, because truthfully, like, you can't just expect people to just take something when they don't know much about it. Yes, we've done it with other vaccines. We usually just go, the doctor tells us we need to take this injection because of whatever ailment we might have, and we just take it. But this is a different kind of circumstance. So the best thing to do, go to the schools, go to the hospitals, go to the shows, talk to people, talk to the public, let them know, like, these is the side effects, this is what the vaccine can do, this is how it, like, you just have to give them information. You can't wait for them to go to Facebook and WhatsApp, which is the worst places to get information from, for them to make a decision on the vaccine. You have to be the people in charge who have been in charge and have been on the platforms. You have to tell the public. You can't wait for other people to do it.
And this goes to something else that we have mentioned here before. The way in which the information is presented, I think that it has to evolve, because people's position and interest in the issue has evolved. I'm pretty sure if we were to go back and look at the number of views that the briefings were getting during the lockdown and at the start of this thing versus the number of views and thing that they're getting now is a vast difference.
Yeah, people don't really look like. I remember once ago people used to like send out the links and really like make the briefings a big deal. But now it's more like.
But people don't even remember it happening.
No.
And I think that the way the information, and I'm not saying stop with the briefings. What I'm saying is the pertinent information, especially the information that it has to be presented in a way that is digestible and interest and piques people's interest in order for them to take it in, right? I think I sent you guys some videos from how it's done, I think in the Bahamas and in the BVI, and so they do like little synopsis of what's presented in the briefings in these little infomercials, right? So it's everything you need to know in like 2 or 3 minute videos.
And that's the reality of things.
People are going to share that
in a big way. They need concise, short, to the point information. They don't want to go figure out the big words or the terms.
It ain't even the big words for me. For me, is the time. So I don't, you know why I stopped watching the briefings initially? I couldn't deal with the grandstanding. I couldn't deal with it's called a briefing, and the briefings are anything but brief. So you go, and it's like today there's another company that giving a small speech about whatever assistance they're giving, and then a quick blurb about the company. And it's like, but I just want to know what's going on with the virus. Me need to know how much of this whatever you donated this week. You know what I mean? And sorry, but it's just the reality. Like people, the calls and the calls on the end, the people asking the same questions that were addressed in the briefing. Like I was just like, I ain't got no time for this. And so I think that between SKNIS, between some of the other agencies that the government works with, we could come up with creative ways to present the information to the people. Because it's not enough to say, well, we've been saying it every week on the briefing.
No.
When you could go and look and see that it's literally only 12 people who in St Kitts that be watching the briefing every week. Yeah. Like it's not enough to say, well, we just say it.
Yeah.
It's not enough. Like we can't play with this right now. And the other thing that I have a fear of is that what is going to happen is because we aren't able to get people on board willingly or to willingly take the virus, to take the vaccine, sorry. What's going to happen is we're going to make it mandatory. So you say you can't do this and you can't do that because unless you take the vaccine. And so what you find happening is now you still have a mistrust of the process of the vaccine, and then you have this state-enforced inoculation going on. So it's
we just got to do better.
Right.
Basically, we just have to do better with disseminating information, especially information of this type of importance. Like, we just got to do better.
Which vaccine we getting?
Who know?
Which vaccine? Like we're part of the
COVAX.
Yeah, we signed on to this thing. Like anybody know which vaccine we're getting?
I don't personally. Do you?
Would you have a preference? You have a preference?
Moderna.
Not Johnson & Johnson for sure.
I think I'm fine with the Pfizer or the Moderna.
Yeah, Pfizer and Moderna. The Pfizer one got me kind of iffy by because some of the reports been kind of weird. Yeah, but the thing too is it has to do with, for me, the level of efficacy as it relates to the variants as well. Like that's a big one for me. Like if this thing mutating, like I don't want to have to take another one 2 weeks down the line because there's more. Like that in the variant that we have down here now. So you gotta take this other one.
God, I never funny. Because like all the things that are happening, that could well be the case. Like we get a vaccine right now, we take the 2 doses for the current strain. Next thing you know, a whole different strain come, we have to go back now, take a whole different like.
And you know what? Screw all of that there. Whichever one Cuba working on, give me that one there.
That's your trust the most.
Yeah, Cuba. That's what I'm working with Cuba. They've been saving us anyway, so let me stick with them.
Cuba is literally just like a giant medical factory.
Yeah.
Like pushing out medical students and all sorts of medical revolutions.
Yeah, definitely. Under sanctions. You can imagine if Cuba had access to like everything.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, big up Cuba.
Right, one time. But hey.
Kevon, are you going to read our council's messages?
I'm checking it right now.
Would you like me to read it?
Sure.
It says, re-vaccine. It is a personal responsibility for citizens to do their own research about the vaccines. There are credible sources online, YouTube, BBC, etc. There is always a risk with taking a brand new vaccine that have received emergency approval. We don't know the long-term impacts, but if you are a young person with 0.01% chance of getting seriously ill from COVID, why take it? Mm-hmm. But can you integrate into society? Moderna and Pfizer are brand new tech. Never had a... That's supposed to be Moderna? What is supposed to be?
Yeah, Moderna.
Okay, Moderna been... What?
Yeah.
Sure?
No, mRNA.
Yeah. That's the type.
Oh, mRNA been injected into humans, but do you trust technology? All these are personal questions for informed people. Oh, he was a typo.
Yeah.
Thank you, counsel.
No, but the same. See, this is the problem. Like, yes, yes, we all do have this personal responsibility. Have you met people?
That's what the thing. You know, we all want to. We all want to basically assume that people would do what they're supposed to do, but nobody does.
Yeah.
We have a phone in our hands that gives us basically unlimited access to every and anything. You have a dictionary at all times. You have a Google, which is the place to find information on anything and everything. But if a message is sent on WhatsApp saying cut up onions and put them around your house to get rid of COVID, nobody's going to jump on Google to find out if it's real or just going to do it.
Exactly.
And that is what we saw. So we can't expect the same thing to happen during this vaccine situation.
The problem is that the persons who have an interest in disseminating misinformation are doing the things that the people who have the actual information seem to be unwilling to do, which is make concise and precise statements, whether they're false or whether they're true or not. So, yeah, like you say, young guy message say, oh, where to stop thing, and then be like a nice little video telling you cut up an onion and put it in your room.
And not only that, if you already are skeptic, right? Let's say I already skeptical about the virus and I've been hearing all these things. I could literally Google things that will support the reason for my skepticism. So I don't know if leaving people up
to figure it out on their own.
No, but this is not absolving people of the personal responsibility.
Of course.
No, but I think we're pointing out the fact that the authorities do also have a similar responsibility to make the information readily available and in a way that is easily digestible.
I agree, because they have it and they are supposed to know.
Because even for me, if information, I don't take well to forwarded messages. And if you forward something to me, you might get blocked.
I don't take well to messages.
But if you do forward something to me that is false, I would respond and say that's not true. Because one, I'm not going to continue forwarding it. Plus, I also need to make it clear that what it is you're reading is not true.
Gav also said, a closer look at how COVID-19 mRNA vaccines work. COVID-19 mRNA vaccines give instructions for our cells to make a harmless piece of what is called the spike protein. The spike protein is found on the surface of the virus that causes COVID-19. COVID-19 mRNA vaccines are given in the upper arm muscle. Once instructions, mRNA, are inside the immune cells, the cells use them to make the protein piece. After the protein piece is made, the cell breaks down the instructions and gets rid of them. Next, the cell displays the protein piece on its surface. Our immune systems recognize that the protein doesn't belong there and begin building an immune response and making antibodies, like what happens in natural infections against COVID-19. At the end of the process, our bodies have learned how to protect against future infection. The benefit of mRNA vaccines, like all vaccines, is those vaccinated gain this protection without ever having to risk the serious consequences of getting sick with COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
Why is the health officials not put? Did they?
And then the thing is with these things,
that they didn't.
No, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't have the briefings.
Oh,
but I know
no.
this information is information that is readily available. And thanks to God for sharing that. And I feel like for me, there's two ways to look at it. There's one saying like you mentioned in the earlier thing, like a lot of people are going and saying, look, I'm young. Even if I get it, most likely
I'm good to
go. Die. Like why should put it in? And then the other thing is that it does give you a level of protection, a level of I don't want to say immunity.
Yeah, because you still run the risk of catching it. However, if you do catch it, your body knows how to deal with it.
And it lessens the risk of it.
Of you getting seriously ill as well.
Are you catching it in the first place?
Right.
Right. It does lessen that. The issue, like I said, though, for most people who have been like trying to follow it, has been the efficacy.
Yeah.
The efficacy is the issue. So, how effective is it? Because you could take the vaccine and still get it.
Right.
And then, like we're seeing now, the vaccines that are out have varying levels of efficacy as it relates to the new variants.
Yeah.
So
there's
see
different percentages in everyone.
Yeah. So for instance, we have a different variant here in the Caribbean. There's one in South Africa that they just found again.
There's the UK variant.
Right. So, are we getting the vaccine that is most
updated?
More suitable
to
our
risk.
strain.
Yeah, to our risk.
Imagine you have to have a vaccine that is updated, like, because it keep.
But yeah, but that's what viruses do. Like viruses keep evolving. Like that's what they do.
They mutate.
Like it's a war right now. It's a war. It's just like they're just there, like coming up with new plans to attack us.
And like it's crazy because like just yesterday we saw that St Lucia had a outbreak of
again.
230 new cases in one day.
St. Lucia is currently far, in numbers wise, far beyond any other OECS island.
St. Lucia people here asking.
Safe, okay? Because
it's just community spread left and right.
That is wild. 216 cases in one day.
Somebody is telling me that St. Kitts is getting AstraZeneca.
Oh, okay.
Let me read some of these comments while we search. Someone is saying that they don't stay and watch anything past 5 minutes until they unless they really like it or it's really interesting. And that's most people. We've been trained to now, with social media, we are trained to only be able to focus and digest short pieces of information, which is why when somebody sends you a long message, you can't bother to read it. You see a long article, you ain't reading it. You want short bits of information, 30-second videos, little bite-sized comments to consume. Let me see. Someone is saying the data in the US shows more whites than black and brown are taking the vaccine, yet more black and brown are dying from the virus. As expected, to be honest. Let's see what YouTube is saying. Witty is saying trust the Caribbean on. Someone else is saying they hear like we're getting the AstraZeneca from the UK. AstraZeneca would be my preferred because although it is new, it is using an old delivery method. Yeah, COVID.
Yeah, so because there's like 10 different ways that they could make a vaccine.
Yeah.
Most of the vaccines that based on the technology that they're using, do not actually inject you with the virus. Like what was described earlier. It sends signal based on a protein for your body to then create the antibody response. So,
but all we're asking is for, yes, we agree with Mr. Samuel. Matter of fact, we would like if Mr. Samuel could join us on the show and talk about some of these things. It's due. It's about time. We can't wait because,
Yeah, let's not wait until it's here to start encouraging people to take it. Let's prepare people and educate people. Let's be available to answer the questions people have, because you don't want a case where you have a whole batch of vaccines here that nobody wants to take because nobody knows anything about
it. They want to take, like they don't last forever.
Right, so that's why I say, we have to educate ahead of time.
That's also another thing. The vaccines have to be stored in a certain way.
They have a shelf life, a very short shelf life.
Hey, watch it, right? I see this story on the weekend. There were these people that got caught in a snowstorm, like on a road somewhere, and one of the vehicles was carrying the vaccine. And they end up just shade out because they were afraid that he wasn't gonna make it. So they're just like, oh, you want a vaccine? I don't know if I was gonna get that vaccine.
So they just walk out. They're gonna just inject.
Yeah, they're just like not themselves. The people was like on the road because like the road blocked and everything. So everybody just kind of there chilling, waiting for the road to get cleared. And then these guys come out and like, hey, guess what? We got the vaccine here. You want a vaccine? Take vaccine. Hey.
No, I wouldn't have been a part of that.
Yo, I don't know if I was gonna be taking this vaccine, man.
Yeah, I would have passed on that.
I think everybody like smiling and so like,
yeah, because they want the vaccine. I mean, a lot of people really actually want to have this vaccine because they're trying to get this over with. Like
not only that, there are a lot of people who are suffering from pre-existing conditions that will make them, more likely to suffer from like, if they were to get infected. So they're looking for that immunity. They're looking for that immune response. So, yeah, people with, diabetes, some of these other risk factors.
Okay, somebody just presented us with some information that I'll read out. So it's basically. Wait, Gav, help me here. Is the doses ordered globally or ours? I would assume it's globally. But so the list has the company. Oh, okay. I'm reading it properly now. So the UK COVID-19 vaccines. So Oxford University, who is a part of AstraZeneca, there's 100 million ordered. It's $3 per dose, and its efficacy is between 62% and 90%, and the storage temperature of that is a fridge, regular fridge. Pfizer BioNTech, 40 million, $15 a dose. It's 95% effective and has to be stored at negative 70 degrees Celsius. When Kittian saying it's cold, it's like 23 degrees Celsius. Yeah.
Bro, 30.
Moderna, $28 a dose, and efficacy is 92% and has to be stored at negative 20 degrees Celsius. Novavax, $12 a dose. Efficacy is 86% to 86% to 89% stored at fridge temperature. Johnson Johnson, $7, 66% effective and stored at fridge temperature.
Yeah, Johnson could go. Right now, AstraZeneca and Pfizer. Moderna too. Moderna looking so bad, but Johnson & Johnson? Them percentages too low for me to take a vaccine.
Even people just ain't trust the brand no more after them lot of settlements and lawsuits and thing.
Yeah,
people ain't trusting the brand like that. No.
That's true.
See if a Vino had one.
If a Vino had one, I'd take that one. At least none of my skin will be cared for.
What? You will be glowing after this injection?
Glowing.
Oh boy, we're horrible.
We?
Jade, is you laughing?
Who? I didn't laugh.
Yes, you did.
Oh boy.
But hey, let's take a break and we'll come back with some more Island Tea on WINNMedia SKN. We will be right back. Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Amali. Where Kevon is still struggling. But let's talk some more tea time. So let's talk about Canada, who decided to cancel all the flights to the Caribbean. Before I'll say it after. So Canada's main airline have agreed to cancel services to the Caribbean and Mexico, and the federal government is introducing new mandatory quarantine rules as they try to discourage international travel. This morning, hold on, let me see when is this morning. This morning, referring to January 29th, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced that Air Canada, WestJet, Sunwing, and Air Transat have agreed to suspend service to sun destinations right away and will be making arrangements with their customers who are in those regions right now to organize flights home. With the challenges that are currently faced with COVID, both here and at home and abroad, we all agree that it is now just not the time to be flying, said Justin Trudeau outside of his home. The Prime Minister said that as soon as the possible government will be introducing mandatory PCR testing at the airport for people returning to Canada, on top of the pre-boarding test that has already been submitted. Travelers would then have to wait up to 3 days at an approved hotel for their test results at their own expense, which Trudeau said is expected to be more than 2,000 Canadian dollars. Those with a negative PCR test will then be able to finish their 14-day quarantine at home with increased surveillance. By putting in place those tough measures now, we can look forward to a better time when we can plan those vacations.
Yeah.
Australia is doing the same, and they've been requiring most travelers to quarantine at a government-arranged hotel for 14 days for 2,800 Australian dollars per adult and 4,620 Australian dollars for a family of 4. The UK is introducing similar situation for quarantine. Canada has a ban on non-essential travel into the country by anyone who isn't a citizen or permanent resident since March. But banning the flow of Canadians in and out of the country is a thornier task. People who return from abroad for non-essential reasons must quarantine for 2 weeks or risk hefty financial penalties or jail time. So, that's that.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I could say about the Canada situation, that I'm glad the narrative is that they need to stop their citizens from traveling. Because globally, the narrative has been that y'all can't go to the Caribbean because the Caribbean is not safe. Not that the Caribbean is susceptible to y'all. And that's the narrative we've been seeing all the time. Y'all don't go to the Caribbean because the Caribbean is a safe place to have COVID. And it's not that y'all don't go to the Caribbean because y'all have COVID and y'all can take it there.
I was just about to say, the only way, the way that we've been getting COVID is people coming here. Like the Caribbean islands didn't start with COVID.
But that's everywhere though.
Yeah,
that's
so
everywhere,
like,
but you know,
No,
the spreaders are bringing it to the Caribbean, running amok, skipping quarantine, ditching the protocols, and
leaving
running amok,
quarantine
then
to
jumping on a flight and going home,
Yeah,
and then
like
leave us here to battle it.
They're not thinking about the people that they're leaving on these islands. They're not thinking about the people that live here. They think about their vacations. When the vacation done, they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few things I'd like to point out here. Like, one, it's interesting that after all the backlash that our government would have gotten in terms of the measures they would have put in place, especially early on, and especially even as we started seeing countries open up and taking quarantine measures, that a lot of the countries, not only in the Caribbean, but even some of the bigger countries, are doing exactly the same things that we would have been doing from the start.
Yeah.
Right? I find that very interesting. I also, like I said, the narrative, like you said, Kevon, the narrative I think is interesting. But the truth is that some of these countries are looking at the Caribbean in a similar way to how we have been looking at the metropoles, like the
Right.
UK and stuff like that. It's also interesting to me that the Caribbean is now conveniently seen as a block. So it's not like, St Kitts saying got nothing on a big thing, so whatever. You could come, if you're coming from St Kitts, I'll go into another low-risk destination, then it's like the Caribbean full stop.
Yeah.
Which I understand the economics of why that is.
Of course.
But it does show that what we do need to recognize is that we have to have a regional response to this thing, because the rest of the world looking at us as an entire region. So these little individual island responses, they ain't really doing much for us as it relates to how the rest of the world sees us, right? And how we interact with the rest of the world. So we're gonna have to really come together and come up with a regional response to get this thing under control. Because no matter what we do here,
it's unfortunately
we're talking about opening up and increasing tourism and things like that. But the truth is, if the countries around us having trouble coping and dealing with the virus, and there's no flights coming to the region, then it don't matter how good we are, how much we prepare for tourism and that. So we really need to work on a regional response, like I was saying. One of the things that I found interesting though is that I would have liked to see, in this case, a response from the what we have in Canada. We have a High Commission. Well, the ambassadors, the Canadian ambassadors, especially as it relates to students. So we have a lot of students who would have come home for the Christmas break, especially because there's COVID and stuff like that, who would have been looking to go back perhaps this month and maybe as late as March. They're now doing their work online. Yep. But they have apartments, they have lives, so they're paying rent and things, so they ain't plan to stay here all the time. But it's just that because of the pandemic and they're using they're doing the courses online, they were able to take some time to come back home with family and stuff like that in an environment that they felt safe. So I was hoping, I spoke to a few students who said they had not been contacted by the ambassador or the office about the situation. So I'm hoping a response is on the way. But things like this, I would like to believe that they would have been made privy, would have been part of the discussion, and if not, then we need to work on that as well. So hopefully we get a response and some advice from our ambassadors there.
Then Jade needs to leave me alone. So I check in the comments. Somebody saying St Kitts and Nevis has strict restrictions from the start, and it worked. And now the bigger countries are starting to do the same. I think what needs to happen, and the world needs to coordinate, because it makes no sense for the Caribbean region to shut down.
Here we go again.
The US is open.
Here we go.
Everybody
again.
needs to coordinate.
Kevon.
Yeah. I know.
About 8 months ago,
we said this.
We said if it was that there was an alien invasion, right? That is the response was going to be all Russia and America was going to be working together. All of a sudden, all the Cuba scientists them would have been up in New York or wherever, working on whatever. Everybody been working together and coordinating.
It needs to be global coordination.
That's how we need to approach this. Like this thing attacking humanity.
It can't just be the Caribbean shut down. It can't just be St Kitts shut down. It can't just be Australia shut down. It needs to be everybody should have shut down properly all at once.
Look,
we would not have been in this position.
Full coordination between the bright. Like as a matter of fact, just the fact that we are facing a situation where we have an enemy. I tell you, there's a war going on here between viruses and humans, and it going on from the beginning of time.
Of course, always and forever.
We're winning.
And so we have this enemy that we're fighting that is affecting humanity. It's not affecting the US. It's not affecting China. It's not affecting St Kitts or Barbados. It's affecting humanity, and humanity is not at a place where we could have an approach that encompasses all of our knowledge, talents, is even coordinated globally. Is sad. And like you were saying earlier, we have the phones, we have all these things, and even this we can't organize.
Nope.
There needs to be global coordination, because clearly it ain't gonna work if one person do it. Because St Kitts did it successfully, shut down, but that
we still can't go Canada.
Right, that only works. That only works for St Kitts, because guess what? St Kitts did what it needed to do, but then now the rest of the world is still not doing what St Kitts did, and it's just St Kitts basically in a league by itself.
The fact that we've commercialized the vaccine, even Like we just read out what the prices are and all that kind of thing. Like, and we have several and there's a ton of vaccines. Like, there's Chinese vaccines, there's Russian vaccines, there's all kind of vaccines. And the fact that like we weren't able to come together as a species to be able to fight this thing that's trying to kill us as a species.
Because humans want to do what they want to do. No matter what you tell them, you could tell them wear your mask, wash your hands. It's so funny, right? The instructions to get rid of COVID, the easiest instructions you could have ever gotten. Wear a mask, wash your hands.
Don't go nowhere.
Stay home. Yet, a year later,
if you were a germaphobe bank robber and antisocial, you'd have been good, yeah.
A year later, countries are literally drowning in cases.
Yes, Chandra, you're right.
All I have to do is do what St Kitts did. And this is why the platforms were on fire when he said the borders were closed and people were upset.
Over it.
But look at us now. Like, I think we just recorded. What was the last count? Because I saw this morning that we're up to 38 cases with 35 recoveries. Let me just make sure that's correct. But I'm pretty sure. Yes, 38th case of COVID-19 confirmed, 35 cases fully recovered. Okay. Imagine that. Yet people are recording 216 cases in one day.
Well, the horses left the gate. And in full gallop. But yeah, I mean, it's the way we responded to this has been so interesting to me because like I said, I don't believe had the enemy been something else that this would have been the response. Like we're watching movies all the time,
right?
And they're saying how they're going to movies by. They're saying how they're going. Imagine if Independence Day, right, when the aliens had come, like everybody had just been like, bye. Well, guys, we just close our borders to aliens. Instead of like the Russian fighters and like the Chinese and Japanese and UK like bombers went. Like, bro, we have dictators and we have like coordinated responses between governments. And we can't do it for like a virus.
The only like war when it includes weapons of mass destruction. Okay? If they don't have to push no button, launch not nowhere, shoot, blow up. These
ain't sweet.
No.
Okay.
So that's why we're just not on the same page when it comes to a virus. It's like everybody for themselves.
That's exactly what it is. Everybody for themselves, and then everybody rushing to make a vaccine to make money.
Basically, remember the vaccine race was everybody was originally saying that this is a money race. Who could push it out first and make the most money?
Have you seen the jump in Pfizer stock? Like all them companies we talk about, the stock is through the roof.
Literally.
I need to go buy some Pfizer stock.
Yeah.
I wish I bought some earlier. I knew this was gonna happen.
Anyway, the stock market kind of iffy right now.
That is so funny. We're gonna talk about that sometime this week because I feel like we have somebody on that understands it.
I do.
Huh?
I do.
Yeah, I understand it too.
No, I mean like somebody that is
in it.
Yeah.
Oh, like a in it to win it superlato.
Because that is. Ooh.
But I just I don't know about since we talked about it. But I mean I've been watching it since like April. And like it's been interesting, the development. Like it's been interesting.
Yeah, March 2020, Pfizer stock was $26.99 for one.
March 2020?
March 2020. December 8th, $42.
So it's almost doubled?
Yeah.
Pfizer doing it by?
I'm pretty sure it's the same for like Moderna and
checking the others.
All the other parent companies.
Anyway.
Pharmaceuticals to work.
Yeah.
The story is y'all need to, 1, disseminate the information better. 2.
Moderna, March 2020, $27. Currently $175.
Moderna doing it.
That's vibes.
Who else is there?
Johnson and Johnson.
AstraZeneca.
Ooh, why y'all bullying Johnson and Johnson like this?
AstraZeneca, March 2020, $40. Currently $50. Okay, not a big jump.
Pfizer is the one.
No,
but Moderna
is the one.
Moderna, sorry.
Yeah, I should
have got 300%.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh boy. Okay, time to go home. So lots of things Amali says, and words of wisdom and encouragement, and things that tell you about roundabouts and don't do bad things, and
still justice for Jaquan.
Justice for Jaquan and all that. And then you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you're not a mug. We need to pre-record a Mali thing. So
we should.
If we have him calling.
Yeah.
We'll have him call.
We need to pre-record it, so if he's not here, we could play it.
And Kevon, I don't like your intro lacks some energy. Let's do it over.
Me who?
Your outro, sorry.
Because I'm tired.
I know.
Me and Abel.
But try again.
You can't be on there. You can't be everyone's cup of tea because you is not a mug. See you tomorrow.